So today we've come down to Alfriston, and this is because we're about now 7 or so weeks out from our goal race of the first half of the year, which is the South Downs Way 50. So we've come to Alfriston just to run along from here to almost to the end of the South Downs Way 50 route. You know, we're often running really the middle third of this 50 miler, but not necessarily these later miles. So we've just driven to Alfriston, and we're going to run towards the end around Eastbourne, and then we're going to jog back again to where the car's parked in Alfriston. Haven't got a huge amount of time today because we're going to the cinema this afternoon, so we're just going to try and get in our Recce, not go right to the end, probably leave the last mile or two, and then come back to Alfriston. So this will be about the 40-mile point on the route, and we're coming up to what will be the penultimate aid station at this church hall, just through this alley down here. That's it there, so that will be the door where you go in for the penultimate aid station. Then we carry on down this way. So I remember that aid station from when I did the South Downs Way 50 2 years ago, and also from when I did the South Downs Way 100 in 2023. And then actually most recently I was there last year when I was pacing my friend Toby for the last 30 miles of the South Downs Way 100. So that, if you're doing the South Downs Way 100, you get to in the dark, in the early hours of the morning. So yeah, it's bringing back memories already running along this part of the route. I just remember back in 2023 when I did the 100 miler and I got to that aid station with about 10 miles to go, and I think I was just relieved to know that there was only 2 more climbs, 2 more big climbs anyway. So after you go through Alfriston, there's a climb we're going to do here, and then it's Jevington for the last aid station. Once you get to the top of that climb, yeah, there's a nice view out over Eastbourne, and then there's the Gulley of Doom, which we're doing today when it's quite wet, which I think is a good thing to know what it's like in wet conditions. And Carla will get to see that gully for the first time, which I definitely think is a good idea before race day. And I'm wearing my Hoka Speedgoat 5s today, which are in the most impractical colourway for trail shoes, white, but this was the only colour they had left. That's my excuse anyway. Yeah, I found it really difficult to get a pair of Speedgoat 5s. I've not wanted to pick up the 6s because of all the bad things I've heard about the midsole. I tend to like a bit more cushioning on the midsole, so I couldn't find my 10.5 and wide Speedgoat 5s, but these are a 10.5 and not wide, one of the last few that I could find out there. But yeah, if anyone's able to found a place they can source 10.5 wide, do let me know, because yeah, it's one of those things I should have bought up as many pairs as possible. When you find a pair of shoes you really get on with, that's what you want to do to make sure when they stop producing them you're not left in the lurch. So I've learned my lesson for next time. So about 3.5 miles from where we started in Alfriston, and we're just coming now down off the downs into Jevington. So there's a long downhill of about 1 mile, and then we hit the last aid station, Jevington, before a climb up to that lookout point over Eastbourne. So this South Downs Way 50, this will be my second time doing the race. Carla's first time, though Carla has done the distance before when we did our LDWA 50 miler around the Surrey tops last year. How are you feeling about the race?
Breaking it, as always. For me, it's more about the cut-off, I think. I can't relax as much as I probably want to. Can't be lazy.
Can't camp at aid stations too much.
No.
But I think you'll be fine, because, you know, with the 50 miler we did before, yes, it took us 15 hours to get round, and the cut-off for the South Downs Way 50 is 13 hours. But at the same time, 9 hours of that 15 we did last year was in the dark. It was very much unrunnable, underfoot, even unwalkable in places. There was lots of mud. And this, of course, is Carla's second time doing the distance as well, so I think you'll be fine for cut-offs. It's just about moving through those aid stations. So we're just coming into Jevington here, and this church is a good landmark to look out for. So we head through the graveyard just down this way, and we pop out the other end and then head right, and then we'll be onto the road that goes through Jevington, and that'll be where the aid station is, just on the left. And this Jevington aid station is not that far from the Alfriston one, so it's only about bit of a tricky gate here. So you got to open that one, and then it's like a slide one.
I'm so bad with gates.
That's another thing to think about as well. So if you're doing the South Downs Way 50 or 100, a huge amount of gates. So you may want to, in your training, practice your gate transitions, your gate efficiency. So yeah, as I was saying, not a massive distance really between Jevington and Alfriston, about 4 miles, but a good bit of climbing, about 870 feet we've just done. So we've just come out of the graveyard, and then we pop out onto the main road here that heads through Jevington, and you'll see up on the left here we've got Jevington Village Hall, and meanly some steps there to head up after you've done all of your climbing on the South Downs 50 or 100. Quite a lot of people don't stop at this aid station because we've probably got about 4 or 5 miles until the finish, but if you do want to pick up anything, then Jevington aid station just there before the final climb. And alternatively, if you do want to stop off for a quick read, if you've got enough time before the 13-hour cut-off, then we've got here a telephone box with a little library in it. And then we're taking a left here off the main road that goes through Jevington, and then up to the last climb. And Jevington, I didn't mention this actually, but another bit of trivia about Jevington is that it's the home of the banoffee pie. Hi there. So we're just at the top of the last climb after coming out of that aid station at Jevington. There's about a 500-foot climb, and then you get a view out just over Eastbourne, which you can't really see much of today. It's quite overcast. So we're just coming off the top now, so this is the final descent down towards where the South Downs Way 50 finishes. Eastbourne Sports Park is where it finishes, with a lap of the 400-metre track there, and we're just on the descent now in the Gulley of Doom, which doesn't look too bad at this point, but a bit further on it starts to get more gully-like, and it can be very slippy on a wet day. So this is one to be careful of. You don't want to go over with just like almost like I did there. You don't want to go over with, you know, like 3 miles to go till the end of your 50 miler. So yeah, it's one to be careful on as you're coming down. Yeah, very slippy rock here. Ooh. So we're not going to go all the way to the end today because we've got to get back to Brighton for 2:30. We're going to watch a film this afternoon. We've booked a couple of tickets. So what we're going to do on the way back, Carla's going to jog about 6 miles or so to Alfriston, where we've got the car parked. I'm going to do a session on the way back, so 2 by 20 minutes steady state run, because I'm just trying to build speed endurance at the moment. I've been focusing a lot on 5k and 10k training, so kind of shorter, sharper speed stuff, but I'm trying to extend that at the moment. So 2 by 20 minutes with 5-minute recoveries at roughly a marathon effort. So not a marathon pace, because of course with the undulations of the downs and the mud that we've got, won't be a consistent pace, but yeah, something around marathon effort, about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. And I'm also going to be practicing getting my stomach used to my new fuel that I've got. So precision fuel and hydration is what I've been trying with. Had a bit of a up and down relationship with Tailwind last year, so I'm giving this a go, and I'm actually going to take a gel before I do my run and just see how it sits on my stomach. I had a gel for our 14-mile race last week, right in the middle. Stomach felt great, so things looking good at the moment, but just want to get my stomach used to these, see how my body gets on with them, and gradually increase the amount of carbs I'm getting in per hour with these, and see if that works. So we'll leave you here. Thanks for joining us. Have a good week, everyone. Enjoy your running, and we'll see you all in the next one.